Hey, what's up, Logos American History students? Welcome back to another week. Happy Monday. It's a new week. It's a new month. June 1st. Happy June. It is day 46 of our COVID-19 stay-at-home e-learning, and it is the first day of the last week of Term 5. Can you believe it? We have finally made it to the end of Term 5, this long marathon of an e-learning term. We aren't done yet, but we are in the final sprint to the finish. We can see the finish line ahead of us. We don't want to give up now, right? But we definitely can see the finish line, and that's a good feeling. Good feeling, especially for those of you who've been keeping up with the work all term long. I appreciate all the hard work, and it's going to pay off at the end of the term. You're going to earn credit, get a good grade. If you haven't been keeping up all term, that's okay too. You still got a whole week left to get caught up, get what you need to get done to earn credit for this term. You've been here the whole term, logging in, doing stuff. It would be a shame if you didn't earn credit because you fell short of that grade level. So we want to do everything we can to get everyone caught up so that everyone earns credit this term. So let me know if there's anything I can do to help facilitate that for you. But it's pretty straightforward about how you earn credit, how you earn a grade in this class. We've been doing it all term. Let's take a look at the Blackbaud, our school website, our student website. And our class page, right, which has the three tabs, the bulletin board, the topics, and the assignments, right? You can access any past due previous assignments through the topics tab. If you go to the topics tab, you'll see the topic that we are working on right now, which is the Vietnam War era, but you'll also see all the topics we've worked on this term. There's 4 of them, right? Began the term off talking about the 1950s, went through the Civil Rights Movement into the 1960s, and now we're wrapping up with the Vietnam War era. So we've really covered, the 1950s and 60s, pretty much everything that happened in those 2 decades this term. And again, if you're missing any assignments from these previous topics, you can click on the topic, and you will find all the downloads for all the readings and all the Google Forms over here to submit those assignments. So if you haven't submitted those assignments and you're looking to get caught up or bring your grade up, again, you don't have to do all of them, but anything that you do that's missing, once you submit it through Google Forms, it'll be graded and it'll bring your grade up, right? Because right now it's in there as a 0. So your grade can only go up by doing those past assignments, right? But we also have current assignments, and again, current assignments and current topics can be found to the far left of the screen or the top of the screen. This is the most recent topic, the Vietnam War era, which we started on Friday. And we started talking about Vietnam War on Friday, and we talked about how America got involved in the first place, right? And that was section 1. Today's reading is just 1-page reading. It's one of those Skills for Life readings. And so it's just 1 page, but there's a few questions to answer on that page about a couple of articles, right? A couple of short, brief documents. So let's take a look at it, right? If we click on the download Skills for Life, page 797, we get this, right? The skill for life that we're going to practice today is called sequencing, putting events in order. It's an important skill for life, right? Especially when we talk about history, right? Understanding what came first, what came next, and so forth and so on. And so you see there are 2 sources, source A and source B. You're going to read those sources, and then you're going to answer the skill questions about that. And so this is going to get more into the timeline of how we got more and more deeply involved in the Vietnam War. Remember, section 1 ended talking about the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution. The Gulf of Tonkin Resolution was a resolution passed by Congress after an attack on the U.S. Navy that had a ship, in the Gulf of Tonkin, which is off the coast of Vietnam. And following this attack, The President of the United States, Lyndon Johnson, convinced Congress to pass the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution, which gave the President authorization to pretty much do whatever he wanted to do with the military in Vietnam. Now, this was a major development because prior to this, who controls, when America goes to war or not? Well, Congress, right? The President is the commander-in-chief of the military. So when we are at war, the President's in command, right? That's set up in the Constitution. But before we can go to war, the President, historically, has always had to ask permission from Congress for a formal declaration of war. What the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution did was gave the President the authority to conduct a war without actually declaring a war, without Congress actually declaring a war. And so that gave a lot of power from Congress to the President. And that gets to, what our assignments for the day are. So we already have this assignment. If we go back into Blackbaud, you can see, and we go back to assignments. We go into the assignments tab, we'll see, there it is, chapter 24, skills for life, right? And there's the 3 questions that you'll answer, the same questions that you find on the downloaded page. You can also submit through the Google Forms or through the online submission. But if we go back, also we see our question of the day. And let's take a look at this question of the day. Question of the day: how much power do you think the President of the United States should have when it comes to control over the military? This includes making war, deploying soldiers, dropping bombs, including nukes, etc. Who, if anyone, should share power with the President when it comes to control over the military? So I just told you, technically, Congress does share power with the President. But, does the President have too much power? Really, in theory, could President Trump decide tomorrow to nuke North Korea or Iran or wherever? Yeah, he could. And that's pretty terrifying, huh? Well, if you think there's something wrong with that, share your opinion. If you think that the President shouldn't have that much power, or at least there should be some curbs on that power, share that response. But also remember, there's the other side of the argument is, in times of war, in times of crisis, sometimes we need one person to make the decision, right? Remember Harry S. Truman, right? Imagine if we had to have a vote on whether or not to drop atomic bombs on Japan. That would have taken forever, right? No. President Truman, he alone had to make that decision, and he did. And he ended World War II then and there, instead of dragging it on for a debate in Congress or a national election. So sometimes, having that authority, in one person is a good thing, but it can also be a dangerous thing. And then the question is, if we don't give that power to the President, who should we give it to? The commanders in the military, right? There's a reason why we put the civilian government, the President and the Congress, in charge of the military, and then just say the military can do whatever they want. Because, hey, they're the experts, right? If the generals decide we need to go to war, we should go to war, right? Well, maybe not, right? Sometimes the generals don't make the best decisions for everybody. They just make the best decisions for the military because that's what they know. So, again, these are just, some opinions that I'm throwing out there. I want to know what your opinion is. How much power do you think the President of the United States should have? Who should control the military, right? How should we use the military? Share your comments in the question of the day discussion. And don't forget to practice the skill questions. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns, let me know. Peace.